Hey, friend. Today I want to talk to you about something that is secretly sabotaging your health journey. Too many choices. We have had international students stay with our family, and one of our favorite things to do is take them to a grocery store for the first time. And every one of them is overwhelmed by the options available. I remember taking one of our friends from Spain and she just stopped right in the middle of the cereal aisle. She could not move. She was like completely overwhelmed. She stood there turning her head from one end of the aisle to the other, like, how do you choose? And I looked at that aisle through her eyes for the first time, and I saw hundreds of cereals in every flavor and shape and color and health claim and mascot, organic and keto and high protein and low sugar and gluten free. And then the exact same cereal in four different sizes. She couldn't make a decision. And she was a very capable, intelligent woman. The aisle broke something in her. So here's the truth about what we've built in America. We have gas stations and fast food restaurants on every corner, ready to give that toddler committee in your head anything it desires at the moment it throws a fit. We walk into the grocery store and there are hundreds of cookie options and cracker options and chips and pretzels and popcorn options. And we are spoiled by options, and our toddler committee is in absolute heaven. But if you've had a toddler, you know that it is far better when you give that toddler two options so that they don't feel overwhelmed by all of them. So there is this psychologist named Barry Schwartz who wrote a book called The Paradox of Choice. And his whole argument is this: more choices actually do not make you happier. They make you more anxious and exhausted and less satisfied with whatever we actually choose. And he calls it decision fatigue. And if you have lived in this world for a day, you've experienced it, because every single choice you make throughout the day uses your mental energy and depletes your willpower. So by the end of the day, you've made hundreds, if not thousands, of small decisions about what to air and about what to wear and what to eat for breakfast and how to respond to that email and what to respond to first and what route to take to the grocery store. And your brain is literally tired. And a tired brain makes, from my experience, absolutely horrible choices about food in the evening. So the options are not actually freedom, the options wear you out. And I actually hear this all the time as a coach. I give them a clear and simple plan. Here are your protein options. Here are your veggies. Here are your fats. Here are your protein carb balanced fuelings and snacks for the day. And after a very short period of time, many people come back and say they're bored. Well, I gave them snack options of over 60 different kinds of snacks. And I gave them all the food that is protein and veggies and fats. Like, they have so many options, but they don't have as many options as they once did for dopamine inducing food. The toddler committee in their head is throwing a fit because the toddler wants all the options. It doesn't want to feel limited. It doesn't like to be told it cannot have something that it sees on the corner or in the vending machine or in the pantry where the kids' snacks live. So here's what I know after 13 years of coaching people and writing my own comeback story. When I've had real success, losing weight, gaining energy, building muscle, reversing metabolic dysfunction, it's always come with limiting my choices to a specific simple set of foods. And I'm remembering this in writing this comeback journey. I've had most success when I choose to limit myself to a certain number of options. See, when I have a ton of options, I'm having to negotiate with myself all day long. Every meal, every snack, every time I open the pantry, should I have this or shouldn't I? Is this better than that? What about this other thing? But I really want that. And the negotiation is exhausting. And exhausted people like me had no ability to make good decisions. So when I know exactly what I am eating today, I don't have to negotiate. I don't have to use up my decision energy. I can save my mental resources for something that actually matters: leading my family, coaching my clients, connecting with my kids, building a business that's worth building. And the limitation actually gives me back my brain. Do you get it? Have you experienced this? So, this is the reframe I want to give you. Limitation is not the opposite of freedom. For most of us, limitation is freedom. When I know I'm going to have a steak and asparagus for dinner and I've already planned my lean green, I don't spend the afternoon negotiating with the toddler committee. I just make the steak and asparagus and it's delicious and I feel proud of myself and I go to bed knowing I did the thing I said I was going to do. That is freedom. That is freedom. And here's why I love the programs we coach. These are the programs that changed my life. Because as a coach, my coach sent me the options right to my door. And the other options were found around the outside of the grocery store, the protein and veggies and fats. That's it. That's the whole store I needed to shop. And here's what it looked like for me in my comeback then and is looking like now. I start stashing the protein packed snacks everywhere, my glove compartment, my purse, my pantry. And when those alarms go off on my phone, I eat it without thinking, without negotiating, without asking a toddler committee for input. I literally just eat it. And then I plan one solid meal a day, lots of protein, lots of vegetables. I'm getting 100 to 120 grams of protein a day without thinking about it. And I had enough options that it didn't feel overwhelming or overstimulating, but not so many options that I'm standing in a cereal aisle just saying, well, I'll just do Lucky Charms because those were my childhood treat and they make me feel happy. The freedom of just having a limited number of options, it's still plenty of options, is freedom, not limitation. So whether you're using one of my programs or you're building your own simple plan, limit your options. Protect your brain from the food noise of the toddler committees throwing fits in your head. Just remove the negotiations altogether. Pick your protein, pick your veggies, pick your fats, pick your protein snacks, put them in your purse or your glove compartment, your pantry, set your alarms, eat what you planned, and recognize and tell yourself that this limitation isn't punishment, it's just the plan. And the plan is what sets you free to give your mental energy to what you really want to do. So go back to your plan, and your tiny step today is to consider the limited options, your freedom from negotiating, your freedom from turmoil, your freedom from being controlled by the toddler committee throwing a fit in your head. Friend, you're an overcomer. We both are. And we just have to dare to begin. So let's begin.